Welcome back to Suicide Fantasy Football.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
We're doing our Week 11 preview, who you should pick up if you need a waiver wire move and who you should sit. We're doing it again because some dummy, for once not me, didn't have the sound on when we did the first round of videos. So first, Jim, let's talk about quarterbacks. So you just added a name to the list. Any chance he's your number one pickup?
No, I told you my number one pickup is. My number one pickup
is Rex Grossman.
This week is Rex Grossman. If you listen to the Blog Talk Radio show, if you're one of the 5 that was on the other night listening, Rex Grossman is going to dominate the Cowboys. He's thrown for 350 and 4 touchdowns. A huge week this week for the Smurf. This will be the last good week he has, and then he crawls back into his hole. But he's my 1 week pickup. If you got Matt Schaub or you got Michael Vick, you got guys that are hurt and banged up and are not going to play this week, Matt Castle, maybe you got Roethlisberger, pick up Grossman. He's your 1 week star.
My this week guy is Colt McCoy, Jim. I know he's been a little...
Colt.
He's been a little bit of a letdown for people that thought he was going to be that sleeper Matt Stafford type stats like Stafford put up this year, even after a crappy week last week.
Right.
But I think this week against the Jaguars, he's coming around. He's thrown for almost 2,000 yards already this season, and I think he could put up big numbers against Jacksonville's ridiculously bad defense.
Before I would take him, I would go with the person who coined the term that has killed every Philadelphia fan since July or August. Team. Yeah, the Dream Team, Vince Young. Stupidest thing said all year, but I think he coming into this offense with the weapons that we have, he's a former Pro Bowl quarterback. He's not a bum. He might not be Mike Vick, but he might be better than what Mike Vick has been already this year.
What do you think about the fans? 68% of them wanting Kafka over Young.
That's ridiculous. That's stupid racist white people. But that's just my thing. How can you say Mike Kafka over?
Because he looked good. Because Mike Kafka looked good. He looked good against Atlanta, Jim. You can't say he didn't.
He looked good in a half a drive, and then when they put him in against the Giants...
Listen, Vince Young so far is 0 for 1 with an interception.
Vince Young made the Pro Bowl. Vince Young is a winning NFL quarterback.
Listen.
Mike Kafka came in against the Giants.
I'm not saying half of the people...
the game up like a schoolgirl.
I'm not saying half of the people that want Kafka over Young isn't a color thing in Philly.
I'm amazed that they had the hoods down enough to see their computer to vote that much.
But you got to understand at least a little bit that Kafka looked good and Young hasn't so far this year. Even in preseason, Young didn't look good.
Young looked great. The last game he played against the Jets,
he dominated against the Jets. You're right.
He looked great. So,
all right. So the next person I want to talk about is the stoner quarterback of the Houston Texans this week.
Dude, if you're in a hot tub with girls and you're in college, you smoke a bong and
Jim,
take some pictures.
Listen,
Matt Leinart's the man.
I'm maybe playing. You went ginger to ginger with your who's the quarterback? Your
Red Rifle to Jake Ballard.
Yeah, Red Rifle to Jake Ballard. I might go stoner to stoner and pick Matt Leinart to Jerome Simpson in Suicide Fantasy Football. I think you can put up big numbers, or decent numbers. For a fill-in 1 week guy, I think Leinart could be okay. He's got to try and win his reputation back, and it's a good week for him to do it.
Yeah. At least next week. It's not this week. He's on a bye this week.
Yeah.
Next week, when he comes back,
he'll have Andre
Johnson, which he had Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Boldin. He really didn't do that much.
True.
But I like him as a pick. Listen, quarterbacks are a premium in any league, whether you have 2, 3, whatever in your league. A starting NFL quarterback is always a premium in fantasy football. And he's the guy who has the ceiling where if he comes in, everybody laughed at Mike Williams when he came back for the Seahawks. Everybody laughed at a bunch of different guys that have come back and done good. I can remember David Klingler when he came. Not David Klingler. Who was the guy that came in for the Steelers a couple years ago? The bust quarterback. I forget his name, before Roethlisberger. He's selling insurance now, but he was a bust. He was a bum. And he came in and had 2 good seasons for the Steelers, and that's, you can catch lightning in a bottle every once in a while.
All right, what about my boy TP, Tyler Palko?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah,
even though he's going against the worst defense in the league in the New England Patriots, I'm still sitting them, and I'm playing New England's defense and special teams. Nah, he's no Tyler Thigpen.
He's no Tyler Thigpen.
All right, so who you sitting this week, Jim?
I'm sitting Joe Flacco.
Definitely.
And I'm sitting Matty Ice. I don't care what anybody says. This is
not sitting Matt Ryan.
To sit Matt Ryan.
No way.
He's the name is more than the numbers when it comes to Matt Ryan in fantasy football.
No, not this week, Jim. He's got a good matchup against Tennessee. He's going to put up good numbers. You're ridiculous. For
Michael Turner.
Matt Ryan. Michael Turner's going to be a beast. I agree with you, but I think Matt Ryan still puts up 250, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a great number.
It's decent numbers, Jim. Who are you going to put? Which of these other guys that you're going to pick up and play instead of them?
Vince Young and Rex Grossman.
You're playing Rex Grossman or Vince Young over Matt Ryan.
No, I'm not going to play Vince Young, but I'm playing Rex Grossman over Matt Ryan.
You're an idiot.
$2.
All right, so you also got Jay Cutler. I agree. He's a sit. He's only throwing passes to Earl Bennett and only 9 completions last week.
Yeah, the only way you pick Jay Cutler is if your other option is Tim Tebow. And he's only going to...
And still, Tim Tebow might rush for 100 yards, so he's still probably a better option than Jay Cutler. And I agree with you. Andy Dalton this week against Baltimore, who's going to come back...
Red Rifle.
Angry sit Richie Cunningham this week. All right, that's quarterbacks. We'll be back to redo running backs, wide receivers, and tight end. If you like the videos, subscribe below.
Subscribe down below.
Check us out. Also, Blog Talk Radio, Monday nights, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It's Fantasy Football Overload, sponsored by Suicide Fantasy. And check out the website, suicidefantasyfootball.com, the revolution in fantasy sports.